Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Happy New Year, Happy New Decade, Happy 2020 everybody. It's about time I did a channel update video. I usually do one at the end of the year or the beginning of the new year. At least I did that last year anyway, I think I remember. But anyway, I hope you've had a good Christmas and you're having a good new year and all of that good stuff. So basically this video is a little bit of a roundup of what's going on the channel currently, what's going to be going on in the near future, and general plans and stuff of that nature. In truth, I think possibly I don't make videos like this often enough. I'm a bit bad at kind of communicating with you guys. I do communicate with the people who watch my live streams on Twitch quite often, and obviously I use Twitter for updates and stuff as well, but I'm well aware that most of you don't follow me on Twitter or watch my Twitch streams, and sometimes I forget that. Or on Discord, actually, as well, because I post updates about things on there too. But the vast majority of you are not on any of those things, and you're only watching the videos on YouTube. I do, in fact, also put text updates here on YouTube via the community page on my channel. But again, I think you have to enable some sort of special setting to actually get notifications of that. And honestly, this year, I discovered really for the first time in a while just how bad YouTube is at keeping you updated of new video uploads and new updates and things like that, because the old app I used to use for my browser, called YouTube Video Deck, stopped being supported by Google, and so I couldn't use it anymore. Which means that I had to go back to using the regular YouTube homepage and subscriptions page for keeping up with videos coming out and stuff like that. And my goodness, it's dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. It's how hard could it possibly be to provide people on the site with a list of all of the updates and videos that the people they follow have posted? Harder than you'd think, apparently, if you work at Google, but there it is, small rant aside. Yeah, I've learned how bad it is now, because the program I used to use to get around that is no longer supported, which is quite annoying, but there it is. So, yeah, in case you didn't know, I do use the community update feature to post text updates about things, so I don't even know what you have to enable in order to be able to follow those, but I do post them, and I know that the text updates that people post via that are not readily, displayed very well on the subscriptions page either, right? So it's very easy to miss them even if you are signed up to those updates, but anyway. I do post updates via that as well, in case you're wondering. But, yes. Anyway, small tangent there, but that's why I'm making this video, basically, to reach all of you people who don't and are unable to follow me on these various things, to get updates and my musings and my thoughts about how the channel's going and what we're doing and what my plans are, you see. So, what are we doing in the new year, then? What are the plans? Well, Morrowind, obviously. I just, in fact, finished recording a new episode of Morrowind. Officially, the first game I played of 2020 was, in fact, Morrowind. Starting as I mean to go on. Excellent. I would have it no other way. Yes, I've just recorded some more Morrowind. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed the sort of feature-length, extra-long episode I did. I don't normally do, hour-and-a-half long episodes for anything other than 40k battle reports, because I think that's a bit much, possibly. But, you know what? I don't know what the analytics behind that are like. I don't know whether it's better to do really long ones like that to increase your average view duration, or not. I'm really not sure. Interested to hear feedback about that, I suppose, but generally I think I'll stick to my usual format of between 40 minutes to an hour. I think that seems a little bit more reasonable, but anyway. So, Morrowind, of course, will continue. Now, the interesting thing about Morrowind right now is that if you've been keeping up with the series right now, you'll probably be aware of the fact that finally, after quite a few years now of doing that Let's Play, the end is starting to come into sight. The light at the end of the tunnel is beginning to sparkle in the long distance, where we're not there yet. But I'm beginning to get the impression that I think we might just manage to finish Morrowind, finally, Fathos' entire story, by the end of 2020. I think this year will probably be the year that story is finally wrapped up. I'm not entirely sure about that, to be honest. That's just a bit of a guess. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did finish it this year. It's probably about time. It's been going on, I think, possibly even longer than the old Skyrim Let's Play with Claudius was going for. So, yeah. It's a long one, but I expected that going in. But as you can tell in the videos, we're getting really into the meat of the main quest now, and we're getting very close to the end of House Telvanni. And while I do still intend to do a little bit of stuff in the Tamriel Rebuilt mainland, and I do still intend to do Blood Moon, the expansion, and ultimately Tribunal as well, it will ultimately end with the end of the main quest. That's my plan for the series. Fathers' story will end as he finishes the main quest. I want that to be the end cap for the series, in the same way finishing the main quest was for Claudius. So we're a while off yet, but we're well past the halfway mark at this point, I think it's fair to say. But anyway, still going to keep coming on a hopefully regular basis. You can expect plenty more Morrowind to come, and when I finish it, what will I do after that? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be done with Morrowind by the time I finish this Let's Play. I think I'll want to do another one at some point, although I doubt it'll be immediately afterwards, probably because by the time I do finally finish Fathers' story, I'll want a bit of a timeout from Morrowind, it must be said. But anyway, more Morrowind on the way. Star Wars Republic Commando, another series we've got on the channel at the minute. I've officially finished recording that. I'm now going to be in the process of uploading the final episodes of it. And then, when that's done, and I'm glad people have enjoyed it. It doesn't obviously pull in very many viewers, but I kind of expected that going in. But on the flip side, it's not a very long game, so it doesn't matter. It's not occupying a lot of time and resources at my end, so that's fine. But once Republic Commando is finished, which will finish soon, I'll upload the last video eventually, within the next few weeks, I imagine. It will be replaced by another game on the channel. I have some ideas as to what that game will be. It will possibly be another fairly short one. Possibly another first-person shooter. Possibly not. I've yet to decide. There are a few candidates, so... candidates. There's 2 Ds in that. But anyway... There's a few ideas I have for that, but I'm not really willing to share them for now. I'd like it to be a surprise, if anything. But anyway, that's going to happen. Total Warhammer 2. I think I'm going to not bother continuing that one. Apologies if you were enjoying it. I was kind of enjoying it too. The problem, though, is unfortunately the view count was not really making it worth it for me, considering how just what a vast amount of time is required to record a Total Warhammer 2 campaign. It takes a long time. It's quite time-consuming, in between all of the incredibly long loading times and everything, but all the downtime where I'm just hitting the end turn button and nothing much is happening. That is a series that, if we did play it through to completion, would be incredibly long, and I think there'd probably be only about 20 people watching it by the end, judging by the way the view count has dropped off with those first few episodes. So, much like that previous attempt with the Skaven campaign, I don't think it's going to go any further. Honestly, I've had far more success with Total Warhammer 2 streaming it on Twitch rather than playing it on YouTube, and I think it's definitely more of a Twitch streamy type of game than a YouTube Let's Play kind of a game, personally. That's just the way I view it, so apologies if you're really into that. I will probably revisit Arcan and the Tomb Kings at some point, but it will be on a Twitch live stream format. More on Twitch later, by the way. Other thing is that, well, if Total Warhammer 2 is not going forward on the channel, obviously I'm going to be replacing it with something else, and this is the bit where some of you might be actually interested to hear this, because it's a game that I've been requested, a game series, in fact, that I've been requested to do for a long time, and that is, I'm finally going to have a bash at The Witcher. Yes, indeed. Now, I've played The Witcher before, I've played The Witcher 2 before, I've played The Witcher 3 a few times now. I don't like doing those top 10 videos and things like that, because they're very, very clickbaity. But I have to say, in case anyone's curious, for this unwarranted opinion of mine, but I think The Witcher 3 might have been my game of the decade, actually. Out of the whole of the 2010s, I think The Witcher 3 was probably my favourite game released in that time that I've played. It's so good. But anyway, I really fancied, after the last time I completed it on my own time, I've actually started another playthrough on my Nintendo Switch, actually. But I was thinking to myself, as I was starting a new playthrough of The Witcher 3 very recently, it would be quite fun to go back and do the whole saga with the same save file and all the same decisions and choices all the way through, again, to see how it all filters through. And The Witcher is one of those series that's chock full of foreshadowing and information and stuff that I simply did not catch the first time I played it through. Like, it all went completely over my head, especially now that I've read some of the books. And obviously, I watched the TV series on Netflix, which very recently came out. So it's fortuitous timing, that really. I'd be really, really interested to go back through and play the games again. Now, The Witcher 1, bless its cotton socks, is a very janky game. It reminds me a lot of like ye old Gothic and Stalker and games like that. You know, really, really old sort of janky Eurojank, people call it, kind of games. But I do find it fun nevertheless and kind of charming. So I would like to have a go at The Witcher 1. It's a long game. I can't promise you will finish it. It will depend on how many people are actually tuning in to watch it regularly, you know. But in an ideal world, I'd like to play through all of The Witcher 1 on the channel, then play The Witcher 2, importing the save game across, and then play The Witcher 3 on the channel. Now, that is a project that will take us at least a few years to complete, I imagine, because they are not short games, and we're talking about 3 of them here. The Witcher 3 alone would probably take an entire year to do, and that's if I uploaded it very regularly too. So, we'll see, but I would like to do it. You guys have requested The Witcher for a long time. I think it's about time we tackled it. And with the Netflix series just having come out, it's probably a good time to do it, really, I would say. Anyway, so, Total Warhammer 2 ending, The Witcher beginning, I think is the plan right now. Additionally, Neverwinter Nights I want to return to as well in the new year at some point. Continuing Vera Blake's story, Vera and Colin. Colin the Panther familiar. I like to think really Colin's the main character though, and Vera's just his sidekick. He's clearly the fan favourite after all. But anyway, I'd like to continue their story with Neverwinter Nights. My plan at the minute is not to go straight to Hordes of the Underdark, actually, from Shadows of Undrentide, which we completed. My plan instead is to go from Shadows of Undrentide to Darkness over Daggerford. And if we complete Darkness over Daggerford, then go on to Tyrants of the Moonsea, which is a sort of kind of sequel to Darkness over Daggerford, which very recently came out. It's amazing to me they're still making expansions for Neverwinter Nights all these years later. It's bonkers, but anyway. Then, after finishing Tyrants of the Moonsea, finally then go into sort of epic level stuff and tackle Hordes of the Underdark at last, with Vera and Colin. I think that would effectively turn the Let's Play into a quadrilogy, which is a bit more than I bargained for when I originally planned it, but I think it would just be really cool, personally. Because the great thing about Neverwinter Nights is you can take a character with all of their items, all of their skills and everything, and import them straight into a brand new campaign and carry on their story, and that's exactly what I intend to do. I can't tell you when this is going to start, but it will start at some point, and hopefully I wish to execute it in such a way that if you haven't bothered to watch all of Shadows of Undrentide, you won't need to have watched Shadows of Undrentide. There will be a decent recap and everything that is required to watch as I start Darkness over Daggerford. So that's the general idea. So hopefully you guys will be interested in that, because I've had some requests, particularly from patrons, people who support me on Patreon, have messaged me saying they really, really enjoyed Vera and Colin's little tale in Shadows of Undrentide, and they'd really love to see those guys come back for another series. So, well, if the paying customers, so to speak, are asking for that, I might as well deliver it to them, I suppose. That seems only fair to me. Right. That's sort of the YouTube-y stuff out of the way, aside from the 40k bat rep stuff. 40k bat reps, they will continue as and when I'm able to record them. I am still continuing to do them mostly because it's a hobby of mine. I don't particularly make much money doing 40k bat reps because they're so expensive to fund with all the models and terrain and paints and blah-de-blah. You know, Warhammer is expensive. We all know this. But I will continue to do it just because I have so much fun doing them and making the story videos as well that go with them and that kind of thing. And some of you, at least, will be happy to hear, I hope, that I am planning another new narrative campaign starting early this year. January, this month, in fact, hopefully. If all goes according to plan. With Dan again, from Morgan's Reach. If you've not watched the Morgan's Reach campaign, I recommend it. We've got it here on this channel, but it'll be with Dan again. Although it won't be his Tyranids this time, and I won't be using my Imperial Guard this time. I'll be using different factions entirely. And I'm really looking forward to it, because it's a very different kind of campaign that we're planning. It's based on some of my favourite bits of 40k fiction. And I don't want to say any more than that, because it's still in the planning stage, and I don't want to spoil it. But I think it should be really interesting, and hopefully a bit unique as well. Very different to any other narrative campaign you might see elsewhere on YouTube. Is my hope. Anyway, but more 40k bat reps in general. I'm actually in the process of editing one right now. Ready to upload within the next week or so. But yes, there is a new proper narrative campaign with a capital N on its way. Hopefully we're going to start filming it this month. We'll see. So that's the 40k news. The only other thing to mention really is Twitch streams. In case you did not know, folks, because amazingly there are people who still don't know this. And I don't mean to sound condescending when I say that, because as we've already discovered, it's very difficult to update people on stuff without making an actual video like this to say so. But I stream on Twitch. I do. I stream on Twitch. I am a Twitch partner as well, which is why I don't stream on YouTube, because I'm not allowed to. Because people do ask that question. But I do stream on Twitch. I have streamed on Twitch for about almost as long as I've been doing YouTube, so I've been streaming on Twitch for a very long time now, actually. But I'm a Twitch partner. I am on Twitch. I have a Twitch channel, and I stream on there regularly. Right now, I'm streaming Oblivion. Yes, Oblivion. I am streaming it mostly because having done 3 Let's Plays now of Oblivion on the main YouTube channel, I don't really have much inclination to return to Oblivion yet again in that role-played Let's Play format again on YouTube. I think 3 times was enough, and I know that 2 of those Let's Plays ended up being abandoned because of technical glitches. But in spite of that, they still ended up being quite long anyway. And obviously Arthur, we did officially finally finish, and for those of you who are still in the dark as to whether or not Arthur will be returning, he won't. His story is officially over with a capital O. Full stop, period, done. His tale is over. I wanted it to be quite short and sweet, really. I didn't want it to drag it on unnecessarily for ever and ever and ever and ever as the game slowly deteriorated and crashed more and more often. So, however, I have been streaming it on Twitch, because occasionally I do think to myself, oh, I'd fancy playing a little bit of Oblivion, but I don't necessarily feel like doing an entire Let's Play that's going to last like 2+ years, you see. So, but we've been streaming Oblivion, and we've been streaming a playthrough of Knights of the Nine, in fact. I've been playing as Sally, the Dark Elf Divine Crusader. Slightly merciless, grumpy Divine Crusader, but she's the Divine Crusader regardless. We've been playing through Knights of the Nine, and once we finish Knights of the Nine, we'll be playing through Knights of the Nine Revelation as well, which is a amazing mod, which frankly kicks the snot out of the game's main quest. It's so much better than the main quest, it's ridiculous. But one of my main regrets from Let's Playing Oblivion on YouTube was that I never got around to doing Knights of the Nine Revelation. The best mod for Oblivion by a country mile. It is amazing. One of the best quest mods for an Elder Scrolls game I've played, full stop, in fact. It's so good. So in this streamed series of Oblivion, that's what we're going to be doing, and that's what we have been doing. I think I've done about 8 or 9 streams of it so far. You can find them all, obviously, on my Twitch channel if you go to the videos tab. It's all there. But you can also find it on my live stream VOD channel here on YouTube. Now, I do mention this every now and again, but again, it gets lost in the noise. So I have a separate YouTube channel to this one here on YouTube. It's called SorcererDave Live. And on there is stored all of the archives of all of the live streams I've done on Twitch for at least the last year or so. And I will continue to archive them all on there as time rolls forward. Now, sometimes it's better to watch it on Twitch because you get earlier access to it if you watch it on Twitch and the quality's a bit better. But if you can't watch it on Twitch for some reason, you can watch it all on my live stream channel on YouTube, the VOD channel. It's called SorcererDave Live. There will be a link below somewhere in the description or in the comments or whatever, so you can go check it out and you can go subscribe. But there is currently an entire full-on, like, role-played, mostly, Oblivion Let's Play effectively, but done as a stream that's ongoing on there. We've got about 8 streams of it done now, I think. I have been continuing the Fallout New Vegas David Crumpington series via live streams as well. That is a bit of an experiment which seems to have turned out quite well. We did the Honest Hearts DLC, we did the Inheritance Quest mod as well recently. We're taking a bit of a break from New Vegas at the minute, but it will be returned to. I started a Mass Effect playthrough on there as well, which I'll return to at some point. Bunch of stuff on there, really cool stuff, and honestly, if you're not subscribed to that channel and you're not watching it, you are seriously missing out on loads of cool games that I've been playing recently. Because I get a lot of people saying to me, why don't you play this game or this game or this game? And my response usually is, I've been playing it on Twitch a lot, just not on YouTube. So anyway, I apologize if live streams are completely and utterly not your thing and you're not remotely interested. That's fair enough. I can't force you to watch it, but I feel like you're maybe missing out if you don't check this stuff out. So anyway, SorcererDave Live. That channel's been around for a while, but again, there's a reminder, it exists. Link in the description and all the comments, along with a link to my Twitch channel and so on and so forth. Anyway, so... yeah. That's it. I've reached the end of my notes, folks. I think that's everything. I managed to keep it to about 17 minutes. That's not too bad. Once upon a time, this would have taken me about 30 or 40 minutes to get through. Notes for the win, everybody. Alright. So, everyone, cheers for watching. Have a happy new year. I hope you had a great Christmas. And let's make 2020 really good and stuff, basically. So, I hope that answers some of your questions as to what's going on the channel and the status of various things. And if not, apologies. I will try and answer some pertinent questions in the comments below for a couple of days after this video is up. So if you've got any really seriously burning questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments, and I will try and reply to them. I reserve the right not to if they're silly questions, but, you know, if it's an important question that actually could do with a response, I will try and answer it. So there you go. Ladies and gents, thank you very much. Have a good 2020, and I'll see you in the next video, which is probably going to be Morrowind. But anyway, I'll see you then. Bye!